like a battery. I'm staying charged on my feet, I'm like a factory. Dropping lines like an assembly. I'm staying on point, it's my strategy. Feel like they track.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to ZukaTube, and today we're going to be reviewing Stargirl Season 2, Episode 3, titled Summer School, Chapter 3. I don't know how many chapters we're going to get in that. I don't know if that's going to be the way they play out the whole season. But I'm going to play the promo. I'm going to go into a little bit of like summary stuff, review the whole deal, play a couple clips, and then we'll go into some spoilers at the end. But let's go right into this promo here.
We need to find the shade.
Where'd that be through?
Find that shade.
Guess who's the newest superhero?
Wherever that.
We won't let you hurt our town.
Stay out of
Or will you? Okay, so real short promo. CW doesn't really do anything too crazy, but we left off right in the last episode. It finished off with the whole introduction of Green Lantern's daughter, and then she kind of ran off after she fully enabled her lantern powers or whatever, right? And then you get to see the Shade, aka Richard Smith, or technically the other way around, Richard Smith, aka the Shade. Right, you get to meet him. You get that little introduction. They show Eclipso, claiming a victim after using Cindy as a host. So that's a thing, right? And they start this episode off with a flashback to like 11 years ago during Christmas, right? And they show Pat working on his car, getting ready to fight the JSA, but getting left behind, And the same with another character, Johnny Thunder, who gets introduced, right? And he's the last user of the Thunderbolt pen. And he's brought along by Wildcat, and they need help, and they need backup, so they need the Thunderbolt pen, because of Solomon Grundy and all this stuff, right? And they pan back to present day and show Mike on his paper route, and Mike has to deal with some bullies on his route and stuff like that. And he comes home, and Pat and Courtney are talking about the Shade and stuff like that, and he kind of gets brushed off, like, hey, this is not for you to talk about with us kind of deal, right? And he's all like ripped up, his clothes because he got like bullied a bit or whatever, right? And Mike goes to write some stuff down for his boss. His pen runs out of ink, and he gets Courtney's pens out of her room and grabs the Thunderbolt pen by accident, right? And it activates, and it's trying to get him to call him, it's trying to get him to say the word "so cool." To get him to activate the pen or whatever, you know what I mean? And with activating the pen and getting the genie to come out, there's certain limits to this whole like wishing and stuff like that happens when this genie comes out. Like you get to make wishes and he'll grant them, but you have to be very specific or things can go very wrong, right? Okay, and then they show like Pat talking about the Shade with the JSA and, how he killed Dr. Midnight and stuff like that, and it's a real issue. And they show Barbara like inspecting the Wizards collection, and the Shade's also kind of there, looking for the Eclipso diamond. So you get an idea of what path he's going to be on for part of this season, right? And they show Yolanda and Courtney, talking about the Shade and stuff like that. And you see a student overhearing, but they don't really go into what could happen with that. So we'll see where that kind of goes. And they show Mike like seeing these bullies from earlier, right? And he basically goes to make a wish for them to stop, and it just starts raining stop signs. Like it's really silly and funny, and kind of gives you an idea of how everything's going to go kind of bonkers throughout the whole situation with this character in the beginning for whoever holds the pen kind of deal. But let me just play this clip real quick.
We're gonna figure this out. Things are looking up from here.
Stop signs falling out of the sky and shit.
Mike?
Guess who's the newest member of the Justice Society of America? Me.
You mean us? Ta-da! Pleasure to meet you. What's going on?
Yeah, so that's all pretty funny, right? And I believe that's the comedian Jim Gaffigan that does the voice, so that's pretty funny as well. And basically everybody finds out about Mike having the Thunderbolt pen. you know, as far as like Pat and the JSA goes, right? And they want him to use the pen as their own like cheat code against the Shade, but Pat's like not having it, right? And so basically they're trying to find the Shade and find out what he's up to, and Shade's trying to find stuff from the Wizard's place, and that's going to conflict with all these different characters and with Barbara's character and stuff like that, right? So before I get into any of the real deep spoilers of the episode and everything, let me just give you my overall review. I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. Pretty good, pretty cool action. You know, the little bit deeper that we get into certain characters and the introduction to certain characters is really entertaining in this. And I definitely think this season's off to a great start. DC's killing it right now with their TV shows. I like where Titans is going. I like where Stargirl's going. I like where Superman and Lois went with their season. These newer shows are doing fantastic. I don't really know about, you know, like the Flash and everything and Batgirl and Supergirl and stuff. But, you know, as far as these ones go, they're doing awesome, and I really enjoy them. So now let's get into the spoiler section here. Spoilers. Okay, so the JSA decides to go after the Shade, right? And they want to use like a tanning bed to transport him, which is kind of cool, right? But he's there, and he's like waiting for them, basically. And he had like tea and biscuits laid out for him and everything. And he's like, you know, having this big talk with them. And he's like, hey, sit down. Here's some tea and biscuits, guys. No big deal. Chill. And he just knew they were coming kind of deal. So obviously that should be a red flag, right? But nope. They don't think nothing of it. And either way, things get a little bit weird. And he kind of tries to separate himself from the ISA. And, you know, Mike gets left behind, and he kind of wants to use a wish to go against the Shade and try to stop the Shade and get the upper hand. And the Shade's not happy with that and just basically takes down the JSA and the Genie right quick. And I'm just going to play this clip real quick. Dang. Taking it to him. Dang. Look at that, having some trouble there. But he's pissed. But basically, he takes it to him real quick. The whole group. Boom. So there's that, right? And like after this whole episode, you know, you see Mike feels bad and responsible for what happened, and Yolanda tries to talk to him about that and the killing of Icicle and all that crap, right? And Mike wishes for the pen to be in better hands, and then that's how they introduced Jakeem Williams, who is like, you know, the next holder of the Thunderbolt pen. So then the pen appears in front of them and stuff like that. So they do that little introduction there at the end. They show Beth and Rick kind of having like a little emotional talk about some family stuff and shit like that. And then Chuck comes back online and warns Beth of Eclipso. So there's going to be that whole aspect of things coming in the next episodes, right? And they show the Shade on top of a clock tower, and he's looking at the empty box that the Eclipso diamond was in. And he seems like really concerned that Eclipso is probably going to just kill all these kids. So like, is there going to be a chance that he becomes maybe a good character kind of, or an anti-hero throughout this season? We'll kind of see where that goes. But again, I would give this episode a solid 8 out of 10. This season's off to a really good start. Definitely check this out. That was Stargirl, Season 2, Episode 3, Summer School, Chapter 3. What is with the Chapter 3 thing? I mean, it's interesting to see that they're doing, like, just chapters for the titles of the episodes, but I don't know how long they're going to do that for. But either way, check that out. Stargirl, Season 2, Episode 3, Zuka Tube, out.
Real like the radio and never play it, but that's cool. The enemy's supposed to hate it.